Welcome, friends. Today, we're talking about something that can truly transform our lives, especially as we grow older. It's about letting go of the things that hold us back, weigh us down, and keep us from finding true happiness. Life in our golden years can be a time of profound joy, but that means we need to be mindful of the emotional baggage we might still be carrying. We're going to go through 5 things you need to let go of to have a happier life as you age. Trust me, these changes are worth making, and I'm here to walk you through each one. Now, let's get right into it. The first thing to let go of is resentment. Resentment is like a thief that steals away our peace, joy, and even our health. It finds a home in our hearts, feeding off memories of betrayal, hurtful words, or actions that felt unfair. As time passes, resentment can become a heavy weight that drags us down, keeping us from fully embracing life. It may even make us feel that we're somehow protecting ourselves by keeping these old wounds alive. But the truth? Holding on to resentment doesn't hurt the person who wronged us, it only hurts us. Imagine holding a burning coal in your hand, intending to throw it at someone who hurt you. But before you even get the chance, it's your own hand that ends up burned. That's exactly what resentment does. It makes you suffer, long before it has any effect on anyone else. It seeps into your thoughts, popping up when you least expect it. It can even manifest physically, contributing to stress, anxiety, and heart problems. But even more importantly, it robs you of something precious, your emotional freedom. Let's be clear, forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing what someone did. It's not about pretending everything's okay or letting someone back into your life if they've hurt you deeply. Forgiveness is something you do for yourself. It means that the pain someone inflicted no longer has the power to control you. By choosing to let go of that grip of anger, you open yourself up to peace, a peace that's so much more valuable than hanging on to that old pain. Think for a moment. Imagine what it would feel like to truly let go. Think of the person or the situation that still pops into your mind, still weighs on your heart. Maybe it was a friend who betrayed you, a family member whose words stung, or even mistakes your younger self made that you regret. Picture setting that burden down. Watch it fade away, growing smaller and smaller until it vanishes. How does that feel? Light? Free? That's what we're aiming for. The act of letting go doesn't happen overnight. It starts with acknowledging the hurt. Say to yourself, yes, this happened. It hurt. It mattered. Allow yourself to grieve and to feel the anger. But then remind yourself that you don't live there anymore. That hurt is part of your story, but it doesn't define your entire journey. It was one chapter, not the whole book. Forgiveness isn't a one-and-done event. It's a practice, something that gets easier with time. On some days, it might still sting. You might feel that old wound. But there will also be days when the pain feels lighter, when it doesn't weigh you down quite as much. Celebrate those days. They are signs of your healing, of the freedom you're allowing into your life. One powerful way to help let go of resentment is by rethinking the story you tell yourself about the past. Ask yourself, what have I learned from this? How has this shaped me? Sometimes, our greatest growth comes from our deepest wounds. When you start to see those moments not just as scars but as reminders of your resilience, resentment loses its grip on you. Letting go of resentment is a bold act of self-love. It's taking back control of your thoughts and emotions. It's standing up and saying, I will not let this pain dictate my life anymore. The people who hurt you don't deserve space in your thoughts, they don't deserve your peace. Letting go isn't about them, it's about you. It's about finding your joy, your happiness, and your freedom. Imagine your life without that anger weighing you down. Picture yourself smiling more often, laughing more freely, and feeling a lightness in your heart. Resentment may have been part of your story for years, but it doesn't need to stay. Today can be the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter where you start loosening resentment's grip, one breath at a time, one thought at a time, one small act of forgiveness at a time. You've carried this weight for long enough. It's time to let it go, for your health, for your happiness, and for you. Part 2. Let go of past sorrows. The next thing we need to let go of is past sorrows. The past is often a place we revisit, filled with memories, some full of laughter and light, others shadowed by loss and sorrow. For many of us, the hardest part of growing older isn't just the years that have piled up but the memories that have accumulated along with them. These memories can weigh heavily, especially the moments that hold regret, fractured relationships, lost opportunities, and the aching absences of those we've loved and lost. But holding on to those past sorrows means we risk missing out on the beauty of the present moment and the promise of what still lies ahead. Letting go of past sorrows doesn't mean forgetting what happened or pretending that those moments didn't shape us. Instead, it means recognizing that life is a mosaic of both joy and pain, and it's choosing to focus more on the colors that brighten our days. Those sorrows, while formative, should not be allowed to overshadow the joy and peace that we still have the power to create in our lives. The truth is, our past, with all of its joy and heartbreak, has brought us to where we are today. It's part of our story, but it's not the whole story. The happiest people are not those who have lived without loss, but those who have learned to carry their memories without letting them weigh them down. It's about learning how to honor those memories without allowing them to anchor us in sadness. Think about it for a moment. What are the sorrows that haunt you? Maybe it's regret over something left unsaid, a decision you wish you could undo, or someone you loved and lost too soon. These sorrows are threads in the tapestry of your life, but they are not the whole picture. They are chapters in your story, not the final word. Grieving is natural, and it's necessary. It means that you loved deeply and that those moments mattered. But holding on too tightly to sorrow can stop you from experiencing the fullness of life that still remains. Imagine a garden after a storm. Some branches are broken, some flowers have been trampled, and the soil has been disturbed. Yet with care and attention, new life begins to grow. The same is true for our hearts. Yes, past sorrows may have left their mark, but they don't have to define the garden of our lives. New joys can still bloom if we give them the space they need to grow. The first step in letting go is acceptance, accepting that what happened, happened. Accepting that sorrow is an inevitable part of being human. It's a testament to how deeply we have loved, how fully we have lived. But it's also about accepting that we have the strength to move forward, to honor those we have lost, and to let go of the pain that keeps us rooted in the past. It's important to focus on the present, because that is where true healing lies. Today, you have the chance to breathe in the fresh air, feel the warmth of the sun on your face, hear the laughter of those around you. These moments are gifts, gifts that sorrow can easily blind us to if we let it. Letting go of the sadness means opening your heart to these small, everyday joys that life continues to offer. Every morning that you wake up, every conversation with a friend, every quiet moment of peace, these are opportunities to fill your life with gratitude instead of grief. Another important part of letting go of past sorrows is reframing your story. Instead of viewing the past as a collection of wounds, try to see it as proof of your resilience. You have survived heartache, endured loss, and continued to move forward. Each sorrow has shaped you, made you stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. You have come this far, and that's something to be proud of. It's also natural to fear that letting go of sorrow might mean losing the connection to those we have lost. But letting go of the pain doesn't mean letting go of the love. That love will always be a part of you. It's woven into the very fabric of who you are. By choosing to focus on the love rather than the loss, you honor those people and those moments that have shaped you. You carry them with you, but you let the heaviness go. Letting go of past sorrows is not a betrayal of your memories, it's an act of courage. It's telling yourself that while the past is part of who you are, you also deserve to live fully in the present. You are not defined by what you have lost, but by what you choose to embrace here and now. As you breathe in this moment, let the past rest gently in its place. It's been given enough of your tears, your time, and your heart. Now, turn your face to the light of today, and let the beauty of now take center stage. Life is waiting for you, it's here, right now. Step forward and embrace it. There is so much left to see, to do, to feel. The sorrows of yesterday can stay in yesterday, while the joys of today and tomorrow can be welcomed with open arms. Imagine what it would be like to move through life unburdened by the weight of regret. To see the world not through the lens of loss, but through the lens of possibility. To laugh freely, to love deeply, and to be open to whatever comes next. There is also power in choosing where you put your focus. Life is about balance, recognizing the sorrow without letting it consume you. Instead of holding on to regret, hold on to hope. Instead of letting grief define your days, let gratitude shape them. Gratitude for the people still in your life, for the beauty around you, for the simple moments that make life worth living. These small moments, taken together, are what build a life of contentment and joy. Letting go of sorrow doesn't mean letting go of who you are. Those memories are always with you. But you get to decide how much space they take up. You get to decide whether they are a weight holding you down or a gentle reminder of where you've been and how far you've come. You can honor those memories without letting them define your future. There is no time limit for grief, and there is no right or wrong way to move forward. But remember, you are still here. You are still capable of joy, of connection, of love. You still have so much to give and so much to receive. Life is not over, it's just changing, and with that change comes a new opportunity to experience things in a deeper, more meaningful way. So, let go of the past sorrows that no longer serve you. Allow yourself to feel the lightness that comes with release. There is still so much beauty in the world, so much love to be given and received, and so many moments yet to be lived. It's time to make space for those moments, to let joy take root and grow. You deserve to be happy, not someday, but today. You deserve a life that is not shadowed by loss but brightened by hope and love. Let go of the past, and step fully into the present. Part 3. Let go of meaningless relationships. Another crucial part of finding true happiness as we grow older is letting go of meaningless relationships. As we journey through life, it has a way of showing us what truly matters and, just as importantly, who truly matters. When we are younger, it might feel as though the more people we know, the better. We surround ourselves with friends, colleagues, acquaintances, and even fleeting connections that come and go. At that stage of life, it might seem like having a bigger circle somehow makes life richer. But as the years pass and we grow older, the real truth becomes clear. It's not about the quantity of relationships, it's about their quality. Not every person we meet is meant to stay in our lives forever. And that's perfectly okay. Some people are there for a season, and some are there for a lifetime. With time, it becomes essential to make a choice. Do we continue carrying relationships that weigh us down, or do we focus our energy on the ones that nurture our souls and bring us joy? This isn't about being selfish, it's about being wise. It's about understanding that our time and energy are precious, and we should be spending them with people who truly appreciate and value us. Letting go of meaningless relationships doesn't mean ending things with bitterness or judgment. It means understanding that some relationships have simply run their course, and there's grace in recognizing that. You don't have to hold on to every friend, every acquaintance, just because they have been in your life for a long time. Longevity doesn't always mean loyalty or love. And that's something we come to realize as we grow older. Life is far too short to spend it with people who drain your energy, who make you feel small or insignificant, or who bring negativity into your life. Think about the people you have in your life right now. Are there those who uplift you, who make you smile, who remind you of your worth? These are the people to hold close, the relationships to cherish. And then, are there those who seem to take more than they give, who bring negativity, who make you feel unseen or unimportant? These are the relationships to reconsider. Letting go doesn't always mean ending things abruptly. Sometimes, it's about taking a step back and reevaluating how much time and energy you're willing to invest. Imagine how much space you could create in your life by letting go of relationships that no longer serve you. Space for new friendships, space to rekindle bonds with loved ones who truly matter, or even space to nurture your relationship with yourself. Meaningful connections are not about quantity, they are about the depth of connection, the authenticity, and the way those relationships make you feel. By letting go of the meaningless, you make room for the meaningful. Letting go can feel daunting, and there might be fear involved. Fear of hurting someone else, fear of being alone, or fear of change. But remember, caring for yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. The people who truly care about you will understand your choice, and those who don't were never truly invested in your happiness in the first place. You deserve to spend your golden years surrounded by people who celebrate your presence, who bring out your best self, and who genuinely care for you. Meaningful relationships don't need to be numerous, but they do need to be genuine. It's not about having a long list of contacts, it's about having those few people who truly matter. A friend who listens without judgment, a grandchild who shares their laughter with you, a neighbor who stops by just to see how you're doing. These are the connections that make life rich. They may not always involve grand gestures or constant attention, but there's a quiet assurance in knowing that you are loved, respected, and cared for. When you let go of meaningless relationships, you're not just removing negativity from your life, you're gaining something far more valuable. You gain the freedom to invest in connections that nurture you, that bring you joy and fulfillment. Imagine how different your days could feel when you no longer have the burden of relationships that drain you. When you can focus on the people who truly matter, the moments of connection become richer, more fulfilling, and more impactful. Letting go is not always easy. You may feel guilt or worry about how others might perceive your choices. But ultimately, your happiness, your peace of mind, should come first. Life is too short to spend it with people who don't see your worth. You deserve relationships that are mutual, where your presence is valued, where kindness is reciprocated, and where love is felt on both sides. In your relationships, strive to be the kind of person who brings light, who offers understanding, and who makes the people around you feel loved and seen. Surround yourself with people who do the same for you. Letting go of relationships that no longer serve you allows you to focus on being fully present for the relationships that do. The friends, family members, and loved ones who enrich your life deserve the best version of you, a version unburdened by the weight of draining, superficial connections. When you make the decision to let go of the relationships that no longer serve you, you open the door to deeper, more meaningful bonds. You also create space for a deeper connection with yourself. So often, we forget that the relationship we have with ourselves is the foundation for every other relationship in our lives. By letting go of meaningless relationships, you make time for self-reflection, self-care, and self-love, all of which are vital to leading a happy and fulfilled life. There is immense freedom that comes with choosing who you let into your life. It allows you to create a circle of people who support and encourage you, who lift you up rather than pull you down. It allows you to be intentional about the energy that surrounds you. And that kind of freedom is priceless. It means that each day, you wake up knowing that the people in your life truly care for you, and you care for them, a connection that is built on love, respect, and mutual understanding. Remember, letting go of meaningless relationships is not a loss, it's a gain. It's gaining freedom from negativity, from obligation, and from the weight of carrying connections that no longer bring joy. It's making space for love, laughter, and the kind of companionship that makes life worth living. You deserve to be surrounded by people who truly value you. Choose wisely, and let go of what no longer serves you. In doing so, you make space for true contentment, a deeper sense of peace, and a fuller, richer life. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Tap that notification bell so you never miss an update, and let us know in the comments, what relationships have you let go of to bring more joy into your life? We'd love to hear from you. It's time to live life on your terms, surrounded by the people who truly matter. Letting go is not about loss, it's about making room for what makes your heart feel full, your mind at ease, and your spirit light. So take a moment today to evaluate the relationships in your life. Which ones bring you joy? Which ones weigh you down? The answers may surprise you, and they just might set you on a path toward a happier, more fulfilled life. Part 4. Let go of empty pride and titles. Another thing that can hold us back from truly embracing happiness as we age is the weight of empty pride and titles. Over the years, many of us become attached to the roles we have played, our careers, our achievements, our status in society. These titles and accolades once brought us a sense of purpose, pride, and recognition. They were markers of our successes, the sacrifices we made, and the roles we held in the world. But as life moves forward, Clinging too tightly to those symbols can actually hinder our happiness, obscuring the deeper meaning of who we truly are. Letting go of empty pride and titles doesn't mean dismissing the accomplishments of the past. It means recognizing that your value is not tied to what you once did, but to who you are today. Titles are fleeting. They might have brought you respect or admiration in a particular chapter of your life, but they do not define your worth in the present moment. Who you are today is shaped by your experiences, but it is not confined by them. Think about the weight that pride can carry when it's rooted in outdated roles or titles. A retired professional who still introduces themselves by their old job title might feel a sense of accomplishment, but they may also find themselves disconnected from the present. When we cling to those past titles, we can create a barrier between who we were and who we have the potential to become now. It tethers us to a world that no longer exists, leaving us yearning for a relevance that feels hollow. The truth is, letting go of these old labels brings a profound sense of freedom. It allows us to step into the present with authenticity, no longer defined by what we once were. You are no longer a former CEO, a retired teacher, or a past community leader. You are simply you, a person filled with wisdom, experience, and the potential for continued growth. When we let go of titles, we make room for new experiences, new ways to define ourselves, and new ways to contribute to the world around us. It's important to understand that letting go of pride doesn't mean losing your dignity or self-respect. It means releasing the need to prove your worth through external symbols. Your value doesn't come from the titles you've held or the accolades you've received. It comes from the love you give to your family, the kindness you show to others, and the wisdom you share. These intangible gifts are far more important than any title or accolade ever could be. When we let go of pride rooted in titles or status, we open ourselves up to deeper, more authentic relationships. Pride can create walls between us and the people we care about. It can prevent us from showing vulnerability, from asking for help, or from admitting when we're wrong. But when we set aside those facades, we invite authenticity into our relationships. We become more approachable, more relatable, and ultimately, more fulfilled. There's a great liberation in embracing who we are today, without the weight of what we once were. The roles we played in the past, whether in our careers, our communities, or our families, were important. They were part of our journey, and they helped shape who we are. But they are not the sum of our worth. Letting go of empty pride is about understanding that who we are today is more than enough, without the need for titles to validate us. Consider the legacy you want to leave behind. Is it a list of titles and achievements, or is it the impact you've had on the people around you? The love you've shared, the lessons you've taught, the kindness you've shown, these are the things that truly matter. These are the things that people will remember about you. The most profound achievements in life are often the quietest: a relationship mended, a child or grandchild taught a valuable lesson, a friend comforted in a time of need. It's also important to recognize that letting go of titles doesn't diminish what you've accomplished. Your contributions to the world, whether in a career, a community, or a family, are significant, and they don't disappear when you stop naming them. Instead, they live on in the lives you've touched and the impact you've made. Letting go of the need to define yourself by those accomplishments allows you to fully embrace the present and create new memories, new contributions, and new experiences. Letting go of pride also means letting go of the need to compare yourself to others. We often use titles and achievements as a way to measure our worth against the people around us. But the truth is, comparison is a thief of joy. It keeps us focused on what we don't have or what we haven't achieved, rather than appreciating who we are and what we have. By letting go of pride, we free ourselves from the need to measure up to others' expectations or to prove ourselves in ways that no longer serve us. This stage of life is a time to embrace simplicity, to find joy in the present moment, and to connect with the people around us in meaningful ways. It's a time to let go of the pressures of the past, to release the need for titles or validation, and to simply be. You've earned the right to live authentically, without the weight of outdated expectations. You've earned the right to define yourself not by what you've done, but by who you are, a person who has lived, learned, loved, and grown. Think about what brings you joy today. Is it spending time with loved ones, pursuing a hobby, or simply enjoying the quiet moments of peace that come with age? None of these things require a title. They require presence, an open heart, and a willingness to let go of what no longer serves you. By releasing the need to define yourself through old roles, you make space for new experiences that bring genuine joy and fulfillment. Letting go of empty pride is not about diminishing your past, it's about embracing your present. It's about understanding that your worth is inherent, not tied to what you've achieved or the titles you've held. It's about recognizing that who you are today is enough, and that you still have so much to offer the world. Whether it's sharing your wisdom, supporting a loved one, or simply being a source of kindness in someone's life, your contributions matter. In this chapter of your life, there is no need for pretense or posturing. Embrace the freedom that comes with being simply and authentically you. You've earned it. Letting go of empty pride and titles is an act of courage, a declaration that you are more than the sum of your achievements. It's an invitation to live fully in the present, to connect deeply with others, and to find joy in the simple, beautiful moments that make life meaningful. If you're enjoying this video, please take a moment to like it, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We'd also love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share how letting go of pride and titles has impacted your life. Your journey matters, and your story could inspire someone else to let go and live more freely. Remember, life is not about holding on to the past. It's about embracing who you are today and finding the courage to let go of anything that no longer serves you. By letting go of empty pride, you free yourself to experience the richness of life as it is, not as it once was. You deserve to live fully, to be happy, and to find peace in the present moment. So let go of the need for titles, and embrace the beautiful person you are today. Part 5. Let go of self-blame and forgive yourself. Now, let's talk about one of the most profound acts of letting go, forgiving yourself. Throughout our lives, we accumulate experiences that bring us joy, but we also collect mistakes, regrets, and moments we wish we could take back. These moments can linger in our minds, replaying over and over, reminding us of our imperfections and the times we let ourselves or others down. The burden of self-blame can be incredibly heavy, keeping us from embracing the happiness and peace we deserve in our later years. Forgiving yourself is one of the most essential, yet often overlooked, forms of self-compassion. Many of us hold ourselves to impossibly high standards, replaying the times we failed to act, said the wrong thing, or didn't live up to our own or others' expectations. We might carry that guilt for years, allowing it to shape how we see ourselves. But here's the thing, you are human, and being human means making mistakes. Perfection was never the goal. Growth, learning, and love, that's what life is all about. To forgive yourself is to embrace your humanity. It's to say, I did the best I could with what I knew at the time. It's recognizing that every misstep was a part of your journey, contributing to your growth. Imagine speaking to your younger self, not with harsh judgment, but with the same gentleness you would offer a friend or a child who was just learning. You wouldn't scold them relentlessly, you would encourage them, guide them, and remind them that mistakes are part of the learning process. Holding on to self-blame does nothing but keep us stuck. It prevents us from moving forward, from experiencing joy, and from truly connecting with others. When you blame yourself, it's like wearing a pair of glasses that only let you see your flaws. No matter how beautiful the scenery around you, those lenses will always focus on what you perceive as wrong. By forgiving yourself, you take off those glasses, allowing yourself to see the beauty that's always been there, both in the world and within yourself. Consider some of the mistakes that have haunted you. Maybe it was a choice you made that you wish you could change, or a relationship that ended poorly. Perhaps it was a time you failed to show up for someone when they needed you, or a moment you wish you had handled differently. Whatever it is, remember that every one of those moments was an opportunity to learn. You cannot go back and change what happened, but you can choose how you let those moments define your future. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean you're excusing your mistakes. It means you are choosing not to let those mistakes hold you hostage. It means accepting that you did the best you could at the time, with the knowledge, resources, and emotions you had. Forgiveness is about letting go of the past and giving yourself permission to move forward, to grow, and to live without the weight of regret. When we let go of self-blame, we open ourselves up to deeper connections with others. How often have we distanced ourselves from those we love because we feel unworthy? How many times have we held back from pursuing our passions because we felt we didn't deserve happiness after the mistakes we've made? Self-forgiveness is not only a gift to yourself, but also to those around you. By freeing yourself from guilt, you become more present, more open, and more willing to share your authentic self with the world. There's also a profound peace that comes with accepting your imperfections. No one is perfect, and no one has lived a life without mistakes. The most admirable people aren't those who never falter, but those who acknowledge their flaws, learn from them, and continue to grow. When you forgive yourself, you become a beacon of resilience, showing others that it's okay to be human, it's okay to stumble, and it's okay to keep moving forward even after we fall. It's important to recognize that forgiving yourself is not a one-time event. It's a practice, something you may need to revisit again and again. There may be days when old regrets resurface, and the weight of those past mistakes feels heavy. On those days, remind yourself that forgiveness is a journey, not a destination. Each time you choose to let go, each time you choose to be kind to yourself, you are taking another step toward freedom. Think about how you would comfort a loved one who is struggling with guilt. You would likely remind them of their worth, of all the good they have done, and encourage them to be gentle with themselves. You deserve that same kindness. The mistakes you made do not define you, how you choose to move forward does. Self-forgiveness allows you to take responsibility for your actions, learn from them, and then release them. You are not defined by the worst things you've done, you are defined by your capacity for love, growth, and resilience. Another powerful way to practice self-forgiveness is to focus on the lessons learned from your mistakes. Each mistake, each regret, holds within it a lesson. By reflecting on these lessons, you can transform your regrets into stepping stones for growth. What did you learn about yourself? How did those experiences shape who you are today? When you shift your focus from the pain of the mistake to the growth it brought, you begin to see those moments not as burdens but as catalysts for positive change. There is also strength in vulnerability. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable about our mistakes, we create opportunities for connection. Sharing your story, your regrets, and your journey toward forgiveness can inspire others to do the same. It reminds those around you that they are not alone in their struggles, that it's okay to be imperfect, and that there is always a path forward. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's courage in its purest form. It takes strength to face your mistakes, to forgive yourself, and to share that journey with others. Forgiving yourself also means letting go of the past versions of yourself that no longer align with who you want to be. Maybe there was a time when you acted out of fear, anger, or ignorance. Maybe you were not the person you wanted to be. But holding on to that version of yourself doesn't serve you anymore. You have the power to redefine who you are today. You are not bound by the actions of your past. You can choose, in this moment, to be the person you aspire to be, free from the weight of old mistakes. As you move through this journey of self-forgiveness, remember to be patient with yourself. Healing takes time, and it's not always a linear process. There will be setbacks, and there will be moments when you feel like you're right back where you started. But every step, no matter how small, is progress. Every moment you choose kindness over self-criticism, every time you choose to let go rather than hold on, you are moving closer to the freedom you deserve. If you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to like it, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'd also love to hear from you. Share in the comments below how you've learned to forgive yourself and the impact it's had on your life. Your story might just inspire someone else to take that first step towards self-compassion. Self-forgiveness is a gift that only you can give yourself. It's the key to unlocking a life that is not defined by past mistakes but by present possibilities. It's a way to honor the person you are today, to acknowledge your growth, and to give yourself permission to be happy. Let go of the self-blame, forgive yourself, and allow your heart to heal. You deserve to live a life free from the weight of regret, a life filled with joy, peace, and love, both for yourself and for those around you. Part 6. Embrace the present and let go of fear. As we wrap up this journey, there's one last thing we need to talk about: letting go of fear. Fear is something that can be deeply rooted in all of us, and as we get older, it often takes on new forms. It might be fear of the unknown, fear of change, fear of aging, or fear of losing our independence. Fear can prevent us from fully embracing the present, and it can stop us from enjoying the richness of life that is right in front of us. Fear is a natural part of being human. It's what kept our ancestors safe from danger, what made us cautious when stepping into the unknown. But in our golden years, fear can become less of a protector and more of a barrier that keeps us from living fully. It's important to recognize that we have a choice. We can either let fear control our decisions, or we can acknowledge it, thank it for trying to protect us, and then set it aside so we can live more freely. One of the biggest fears that many of us face as we grow older is the fear of losing control over our bodies, our minds, or our independence. This fear can be overwhelming, but holding on to it can also rob us of the joy we could be experiencing in the present. Instead of worrying about what might happen in the future, we need to focus on what we can do today. We can choose to take care of our health, nurture our relationships, and find joy in the small moments that make up our daily lives. By doing so, we're not ignoring the challenges of aging, we're simply refusing to let those challenges steal the happiness that's available to us right now. Fear of change is another common struggle. Change is inevitable, but it can be especially difficult to accept as we age. Our routines change, our relationships change, and our roles within our families and communities may shift. It's easy to feel unsettled or even lost during these transitions. But instead of resisting change, what if we chose to embrace it? Change brings with it new opportunities to grow, to learn, and to experience life in new ways. Embracing change allows us to let go of the past and move forward with a sense of curiosity and openness. Think of life as a river. The water is always moving, always changing, and if we try to hold on to it, we end up struggling against the current. But if we let go and allow ourselves to move with the flow, we find a sense of peace and freedom. Letting go of fear means trusting in the journey, even when we can't see what's around the next bend. It means knowing that, no matter what happens, we have the strength and resilience to face it. Another fear that often weighs heavily is the fear of being alone. As we get older, our social circles may grow smaller. Loved ones may move away or pass on, and it's easy to feel isolated. This fear can keep us from reaching out, from making new connections, and from opening ourselves up to the possibility of new friendships. But letting go of the fear of being alone means understanding that we are never truly alone. We are surrounded by people who care, even if it takes a little effort to find them. It means choosing to be proactive in nurturing relationships and seeking out opportunities to connect, whether that's joining a club, volunteering, or simply striking up a conversation with someone new. Letting go of fear also means letting go of the fear of not being enough. Many of us carry the belief that we are not enough, not successful enough, not strong enough, not young enough, not worthy enough. This belief can be incredibly limiting, keeping us from pursuing our passions, trying new things, or fully enjoying our lives. But here's the truth: you are enough, just as you are. You have lived, learned, loved, and grown, and that is more than enough. Letting go of the fear of not being enough means embracing yourself fully, flaws and all, and recognizing that your worth is not determined by what you do or what you have, it's inherent in who you are. Fear can be a powerful emotion, but it doesn't have to control you. It's okay to feel fear, everyone does. But the key is not to let it dictate your actions or your outlook on life. When you feel fear creeping in, take a deep breath, acknowledge it, and then gently let it go. Remind yourself that fear is just one part of the human experience, but it doesn't have to be the part that leads your life. Instead of letting fear hold you back, choose to live courageously. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward despite it. It's the choice to show up, to be present, and to embrace whatever life brings with an open heart. When we let go of fear, we make room for something far more powerful: love, joy, and a sense of freedom that allows us to truly live. Imagine what your life could be like without the weight of fear. Picture yourself waking up each day with a sense of excitement for what lies ahead, rather than anxiety about what could go wrong. Imagine approaching each moment with curiosity, seeing each day as an opportunity to learn, grow, and experience something new. Letting go of fear doesn't mean that challenges won't come. It means that when they do, you'll face them with the confidence that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. Think about the people you admire, those who live with a sense of peace and joy. Chances are, they haven't lived a life without fear. Instead, they have learned to let go of the fear that holds them back, choosing instead to focus on the beauty of life as it unfolds. You can do the same. You have the strength, the resilience, and the courage to let go of fear and to embrace life fully, without hesitation. As we come to the end of this journey, remember that letting go is not about losing anything. It's about gaining the freedom to live fully in the present, without the burdens of the past or the fears of the future. By letting go of fear, you open yourself up to all the wonderful possibilities that life still has to offer. You deserve to live a life that is filled with love, joy, peace, and connection, a life that is not defined by fear, but by the courage to embrace each moment. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey of letting go. I hope that these lessons have inspired you to take steps toward a happier, more fulfilled life. Remember, it's never too late to let go of the things that weigh you down and to make room for the things that bring you joy. Let go of resentment, past sorrows, meaningless relationships, empty pride, and self-blame, and finally, let go of fear. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. What fears are you ready to let go of? How has letting go helped you find more peace and joy in your life? Your journey is important, and your story could inspire someone else to find the courage to let go. Remember, life is meant to be lived fully, with an open heart and a fearless spirit. Let go of what no longer serves you, and embrace the beauty of the present moment. You are enough, and you are capable of living a life filled with happiness, peace, and love. It all starts with letting go.